Hello, welcome back. Today, I'm going to be reading from this. You've seen this before on the channel. This is my big book of Petrarch sonnets. Petrarch was a 14th century Italian poet and humanist. He wrote many sonnets about a woman named Laura, whom he loved. This is a book of all those sonnets, both the original Italian and in English. Petrarch's work is very important to the modern Italian language, and I love it. This is a very old book. It goes back to 1966. I'm going to turn to a sonnet at random. No plans, and read it cold. Hopefully, you'll find this relaxing. So, without further ado, let's get started. Now, these poems, at least in this book, don't have titles. So I'm just going to jump right in. Determined with one sally to erase the memory of countless slights, intent on winsome vengeance, Love the cheater bent his hidden bow, and chose well time and place. Within my heart's protective carapace my spirit tarried, ready to resent aggression, had my eyes their message sent. But the swift onslaught gave no breathing space. Ah, luckless garrison, that could repel all earlier sieges, taken by surprise in this assault, what could you do but yield? No weapon served, no inner citadel either to offer war or temporize. My shattered soul, what feeble arms we wield. It was the day the sun had overcast, in pity of his Maker, his bright sheen, when I fell prey to peril unforeseen, for your eyes, lady, caught and held me fast. I took no care to shelter against love's blast, wherefore, amidst the melancholy scene of dole and penance, my own anguish keen was born that has the general grief surpassed. Through eyes that now but serve to weep my ills, love stormed my heart as I walked unalarmed, thinking that day I might pay him no heed. Meanwhile to you, secure and fully armed, he did not even show his shaft that kills. Here's shabby glory for great love indeed. If that sweet soul, whose early fate I fear, called to the other life before her day, be so approved above, as well she may. She will inhabit heaven's highest sphere. By envy dimmed, the sun his front would rear, should she within his circle make her stay. For to behold her beauty's glorious ray, the chosen souls would flock from far to near. And in a lower sphere were she to rove, for the three lesser lights, it were not well, since she would filch their glories and their love. Where Mars has reigned, she could not brook to dwell, and if she higher flew, the star of Jove and every star that's fixed, she would excel. This book smells very good. There's a little bit of a musty smell because for a long time it was in a basement that was fairly wet. But the book has this that protected it from a lot of the mildew. O ye, who in these scattered rhymes may hear the echoes of the sighs that fed my heart in errant youth, for I was then in part another man from what I now appear. If you have learned by proof how love can sear, then for these varied verses where I chart its vain and empty hope, and vainer smart, pardon I may beseech, nay, pity's tear. For now I see how once my story spread, and I became a wonder to mankind, so in my heart I feel ashamed. Alas, that naught but shame my vanities have bred, and penance, and the knowledge of clear mind, that earthly joys are dreams that swiftly pass. He who with foresight boundless and divine showed in his office proof of wondrous art, who shaped our globe, its each and every part, formed fearsome Mars, and made a Jove benign coming on earth, his promise to define, which ancient prophets darkly did impart, called Peter, caused John from his nets to part, and set them in his heaven crystalline. A borning he shed not on Rome his grace, but on poor Judah, for his purpose high is e'er to raise the lowly of this earth, whence such a sun shines on our humble place, as to call blessings on its happy sky, whereunder my fair lady came to birth. Obviously, Petrarch had some religious leanings. When you to call I rouse these sighs of mine, and speak the name which in my heart I wear love chiseled, then to spread a sound in air like laud, the first sweet elements combine. Your regal nature, which the next define, doubleth my courage for this feat so rare. But tarry, cries the last, for honours there to carry needeth stouter backs than thine. And thus to laud you and revere the name and the sound teach me, whensoe'er they come, yours all our praise and reverence must be, unless Don Phoebus it may haply shame that mortal tongue should saucily presume to noise his green ever-abiding tree. So wayward now my will, and so unwise, to follow her who turns from me in flight, and from love's fetters free herself and light. before my slow and shackled motion flies, that less it lists, the more my sighs and cries would point where passes the safe path and right, nor aught avails to check or to excite, for love's own nature curb and spur defies. Thus, when perforce the bridle he has won, and helpless at his mercy I remain, against my will he speeds me to mine end, 'neath yon cold laurel, whose false boughs upon hangs the harsh fruit, which, tasted, spreads the pain I sought to stay, and mars where it should mend. Intemperance, slumber, and the slothful down have chased each virtue from this world away. Hence is our nature nearly led astray from its due course by habitude o'erthrown. Those kindly lights of heaven so dim are grown, which shed o'er human life instruction's ray, that him with scornful wonder they survey, who would draw forth the stream of Helicon. Whom doth the laurel please of myrtle now? Naked and poor, philosophy art thou. The worthless crowd, intent on lucre, cries, few on thy chosen road will thee attend, yet let it more incite thee, gentle friend, to prosecute thy high conceived emprise. Beneath the hills, where first that faireth she the mortal vesture donned she still doth wear, who rouses oft from sleep to many a tear, the man who sends up as a gift to thee, we passed in utmost peace, content and free through life, whose sweets all sentient creatures share, without suspicion of the hidden snare set to betray our rightful liberty. Yet, in our woeful plight, so near to death, forced all untimely from life's joyful hour, one single source of comfort still remains, and this avenges us on him whose breath is drawn in thraldom to another's power, for he lies fettered by far weightier chains. Very dramatic, very intense. When the bright planet which divides the hours returns to dwell with Taurus in his house, there falls a virtue from his burning brows that paints the world with green and silver showers. And more than gleam of grass and grace of flowers his golden glances vehemently arouse. Down in the cold dark womb of earth he glows with new life and with sudden restless powers, so that such fruits as these I send arise, and even so does she. That is the sun of her sweet sex, moving her brilliant eyes upon me, cause love's counsel to be done, in thought, act, word, but to my soul denies forever spring's compassionate medicine. Glorious Colonna, still the strength and stay of our best hopes, and the great Latin name, whom power could never from the true right way seduce by flattery or by terror tame. No palace, theatres, nor arches here, but in their stead the fir, the beech, and pine, and the green sward with the fair mountain near, paced to and fro by poet friend of thine. Thus unto heaven the soul from earth is caught, while Philomel, who sweetly to the shade the livelong night her desolate lot complains, fills the soft heart with many an amorous thought. Ah, why is so rare good imperfect made, while severed from us still my Lord remains. If it be destined that my life, from thine divided, yet with thine shall linger on till, in the later twilight of decline, I may behold those eyes their lustre gone, when the gold tresses that enrich thy brow shall all be faded into silver gray, from which the wreaths that well bedeck them now for many a summer shall have fallen away. Then should I dare to whisper in your ears the pent-up passion of so long ago, that love which hath survived the wreck of years hath little else to pray for or bestow. Thou wilt not to the broken heart deny the boon of one too late relenting sigh. Here, Petrarch talks about waiting until Laura is old to reveal his love to her. Unfortunately, Laura died before he was ever able to tell her how he felt. In fact, there is some debate about whether Laura existed at all. Throned on her angel brow, when love displays his radiant form among all the other fair, far as eclipsed their choicest charms appear, I feel beyond its wont my passion blaze. And still I bless the day, the hour, the place, when first so high mine eyes I dare to rear, and say, fond heart, thy gratitude declare, that then thou hadst the privilege to gaze. 'Twas she inspired the tender thought of love, which points to heaven and teaches to despise the earthly vanities that others prize. She gave the soul's light grace, which to the skies bids thee straight onward in the right path move, whence buoyed by hope, e'en now I soar to worlds above. We'll do one more. I decided to start from the beginning. Because I decided that some minutes ago. And you didn't know. Backward, at every weary step and slow, these limbs I turn, with great pain I bear. Then take I comfort from the fragrant air that breathes from thee, and sighing onward go. But when I think how joy is turned to woe, remembering my short life and whence I fare, I stay my feet for anguish and despair, and cast my tearful eyes on earth below. At times, amid the storm of misery, this doubt assails me, how frail limbs and poor can, severed from their spirit, hope to live. Then answers love, hast thou no memory for how I to lovers this great guerdon give, free from all human bondage to endure? This last poem contains a word I don't know. It is spelled Guerdon. And if you look that up, let me know what it means. I'll look it up too. I love learning new words. I love when something that I'm reading causes me to reach for my dictionary. Thank you for listening. We'll return to Petrarch in another video. Until then, peace and loving kindness.